What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rice and Beans. Big-O and Jester in the house. Guys, welcome to Season 5. What's up, Big-O?
In a world where two men drink on a weekend, make it a Sunday, they come together for Season 5, Two Guys Against the World. Season 5, Episode 1, coming to you live, Rice and Beans from your buttocks.
That reminded me of the Rick and Morty, the when they're just interdimensional cable episode 1, where they're the movie trailer, they're just making shit up as they go along.
Trailer after trailer and one trailer.
Yes.
And then some guy comes out of the woodwork with a lamp and a lighter. What's he doing with the lighter? I don't know, but here he is.
Yes. Oh man, that show's fucking awesome. And the new season, I've been watching it, and they stepped it up. They stepped up that like dark, like dirty humor, and it's oh man, I've been loving it.
Yeah, I got to catch it. I've been on other kicks here lately. This, like I mentioned earlier before we started recording, I got sick this weekend, so I've been catching up on a lot of shows and doing my Marvel Universe in Intrascope inline movies. So, you know, I've been catching up on a lot of things.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was on call for work this weekend, so it was a dry weekend, if you kind of until now, because this show is dedicated to drink. Mr. Mix-It was supposed to join us, but due to some scheduling conflicts, he isn't going to be able to make it. But we are drinking a couple of his recipes. And so we'll go ahead and share those with you throughout the show as you see us sipping on some stuff here. But unfortunately, it was Fuck Checker's birthday yesterday, and I was hosting and like trying to work at the same time, and so I couldn't really drink. And then by the time I was off work, it was late, and everybody was already bombed. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother trying to catch up. Like, Guitar Guy was here too. Guitar Guy was trashed. It was a good time.
Anyone tells my boy he ain't a good man, fuck you, he is. He takes care of his own.
Dab Skippy. Otherwise, you don't put out.
And we can't have that.
Right? Then it'll be all work and no sex makes Jester a grumpy boy.
And no episode 6 or season 6.
Season 6 will be the next episode of Snapped.
Season 6 is going to have you with bags under your eyes, your hair all sprawled up, and going, I need sex, man. I need it, bad.
It's gonna start off like Tiger King. I'm gonna be in jail going, and by the time this is over, you're gonna be sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing in prison?
What happened to your front teeth?
Oh man, so crazy shit when you drink. And so I was on a work happy hour, and so because of COVID and stuff like that, like not everything's open, so they're doing some of these things digitally, so everybody gets a drink at home. And so it was kind of cool, everybody, like the company goes, okay, here's like some cash, buy your drink, because like when we go to happy hour, the company would pay for the drinks. So they're like, all right, here, they gave everybody an allowance. They're like, go buy your bottle. It's on us. And so everybody, came back. And so I came back with a bottle of Hennessy and, started drinking. And then like, I'm all, yeah, I know I'm at home and I know they said it was cool, but like, I'm kind of new here. I'm just going to kick back a little bit and like see if everybody else gets trashed, and then I'll jump in the mix and keep going. It was fun though. Like, people started getting trash and it was like, all right. Okay.
Jesus Christ, Chester. Hookers and blow, really?
I'm like, I'm off the clock.
Taking Hennessy enemas. I hear you absorbing faster than the bloodstream that way.
And then I'm trying to like fucking be off camera and toke all incognito, and then fucking there's like 3 dudes in there just fucking packing bowls, like big ass not giving a fuck, just straight on camera, like I'm like I'm over here hiding like an asshole. Fuck. I'm like, well, okay, fuck that.
It's not hiding like an asshole, it's being smart.
Right. And then like I'm sure they were all laughing because they were like, looking at the screen, and they would take their hit and they would like laugh, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
That sounds like a good Christmas party type deal going on.
So yeah, I mean, like I've had like good drinking parties with people from work, but I've also had some like fucking weird experiences. Like I got sent out of town for like an old job years ago. Got sent to Minnesota in the winter, and like the boss went out with me. And so this dude, like, we get to the first fucking bar, and this should have told me how long of a night it was gonna be. Like, we fucking get drinks and like fucking some appetizers at a like pretty nice fucking place. And so the bills, comes out, it's like 120, and I'm like, fuck. He's like, all right, well, we're gonna split it. And then the forgot my wallet fucking deal happened. He's like, it's all right, just pick it up. I'll let you expense it. I'm like, uh-huh. I'm like, all right. So then we go to another, yeah, exactly. So then go to another fucking bar, and at least I already know I'm gonna have to fucking foot the bill, but at least like I get to expense it, so like I'm gonna get all that money back. And so then as this dude gets more and more drunk, like the fucking creeper starts to like creep out, and like the waitresses are coming, and like he's like the passes are getting like more and more fucking thirsty, and the lines are getting cheesier, and like it's getting more and more cringy like to watch. And so by the time we go to the third place, like he's like spitting his game, and I couldn't cringe any harder if I watched my mom in a bukkake video. Like it was that bad. And like, so he's like, man, I gotta go take a piss. So he leaves, and she comes back with the order to double check the order. And I'm like, yo, I'm really sorry. Like, that's my boss. He's fucking trashed. And like, just fucking send a dude waiter back. I'm like, it'll be less cringy and less fucking awkward for me, and like then you won't get sloppily hit on. And the girl just starts laughing, and she's like, well, is he gonna take off anytime soon? I'm like, when I do, I'm the driver. And she's like, she looks at my fucking what we ordered, she's like, you're driving? I'm just having one. And she's like, right. So we finally, like, the dude throws in the towel, and he's like, he can't do anymore. And he struck out more times than like I've ever seen anybody strike out in a single fucking outing. And I'm like, you literally are the worst fucking batter ever.
Well, not to mention he's in Minnesota.
Right? And like the dude doesn't like wear deodorant all the time.
What? How could you strike out in Minnesota? I mean, you could be the homeliest looking guy and probably, hit a 3-ground base hit off that one.
He was the homeliest looking guy.
I bet.
which is why I got more attention. So I'm like, hey, it's kind of cool. But I'm like, one, I'm babysitting him, and two, then he almost fucking got arrested at the last bar they went to. They threw him out. Like, he goes, I'm going to the bathroom. And then all of a sudden, like, I get a fucking text saying, they threw me out. I'll meet you outside. I'm like, what the fuck? We just fucking got here. And so then I'm like, all right, well, he left his ID with them. I didn't, because I wasn't drinking anything. And so I just kind of walked out, and then he was like, oh, well, fucking, they still have my ID inside, and security was like, come back tomorrow. You can't come in. Like, we're going to call the cops if you don't get the fuck out of here. And so I'm like, yo, man, let's just go. We'll come back tomorrow. I'm like, we're not doing shit anyways. Let's just get the fuck out of here. And so we go, and he's like, are you like bugging me? Are you sure you're good to drive? But as I'm trying to like back out of a parking space. And so I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. And then bam, I fucking, like, I was only going 3 miles an hour, but I hit the fucking power pole that was behind, because that motherfucker wouldn't shut up, and he kept asking me like relentlessly if I was good to drive. And I'm like, yeah. And then I hit the pole, and he's like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, I just stopped real hard, that's all. And then I fucking threw it in drive and bailed.
Nice.
I don't give a fuck. The rental car was in his name.
Yeah, so I went out to Salt Lake once for training, and one of the guys, he was a draw in the CAD designing for our equipment, and he wanted to go out drinking. Well, at the time, you still needed to have someone sponsor you to get into the bars and whatnot. Now they don't have it. So basically, essentially, what that is someone that's known in the either the bartender, the owner, or someone that goes to that bar vouches for you so you can drink. Basically, is all it is,
Mm-hmm.
and you pay a due or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy knew somebody at the bar, a real big guy. He's like, "Yeah, I own the bar." Basically is what he said. He didn't own it, but he's like one of the guys, big guys there, or whatever, knows everybody. So he got us in there, and we almost get thrown out right from the get go. I'm like, fuck, it's not worth it. And finally, they got us in there and sat us down. I'm like, it's still not worth it. And the guy's all, just drink, just drink. I'm like, I ain't spending no money. I'm taking my cash home. He goes, I got you, I got you. I'm like, all right, whatever. I know I sound like a jerk, not paying for anything, but he was assistant. So I'm like, all right, fine, give me some booze, I'll drink. So next thing I know, I got Bacardi and Monster shots. I'm looking at him like, what's this? He goes, Bacardi Monster, just drink it. All right, whatever. So I slug one down. Hey, it ain't half bad. He goes, you want another one? I'm like, sure, why not? If you're paying. He's like, yeah, I got you covered. So he gets another one poured for me. I slug it down. Now I'm loose. I'm talking. You know me, how I've been flowing here. I'm chit chatting. Life of the party. I ain't hitting on nobody. I'm just having a good time with everybody. Talking to girls, talking to guys, having a good time. Everyone's having a good laugh. My seventh one in, I didn't realize it was my seventh one. He just kept on getting more and more, and I'd look down like, fuck, how many did I get? He's like, I don't know. It's like your 6 or 7. I'm like my third. He goes, no, you've been drinking all night. Shit. So I slug it down one more time. I'm thinking, I got to take a piss now. Mind you, I'm talking like I was thinking at that time. I was lucid. I was, very coherent. I could move around, talk around, whatever. As soon as I stood up from the bar seat, man, the world started spinning. I'm like, holy fucking shit. So I'm going around like fucking Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, just all over the place, going, yeah, the chocolate is good, yeah. Fuck, man. Chocolate almost came down my pants, I'll tell you what. So I make a beeline for the bathroom now. See, when you're a kid and you do baseball bat spins, you learn to put your arms up and you do stutter steps so you can kind of even things out, right? Kind of like what the Apollo astronauts did to dock stations up there. So I make my way into the bathroom, and as I'm taking a piss, I almost take a head dive right into the wall, but I managed to get myself, so I'm okay, but the wall wasn't because I peed all over it. Anyway, so I wrap it up, go sit down. There's another one there. I'm like, okay, this is my last one. I'm done. I know my limit. So I take my last one, and this guy, he's fucking 3 sheets to the wind. He's out of it. He's totally gone. He's slobbering over girls. He's touching people. And the owner's like, you got to get him out of here. I'm like, dude, I got to walk back to the hotel. Now, I know my way back. It's probably about 2.5, 3 miles. And I could probably walk there from where I'm at. But he was insistent on driving. Well, so I don't like to admit to this, but I've drove a few times when I shouldn't have, and I'm pretty coherent when I drive, even when I drink. And that's not to say I should do it. Sorry, people. That's the only apology you're ever going to get from me. I tell him, let me drive. No, I'm driving. It's my truck. F you. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. So I get in the truck with him, and he's driving, and he's doing all right, bit of all right. We go down the main line, and then we hang a right to go down to the freeway. And next thing I know, he's stuttering, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Wake up, man. I notice he's passing out. Let me fucking drive, man, before a cop pulls us over. Just as I said that, woo! Fucking cops pull us over right on the on-ramp to the freeway.
Oh, man.
Fucking pull his ass for drunk driving immediately. They ask if I'd been drinking. I tell them no, because I always tell the truth. And next thing you know, they're telling me, well, you got to get back to your hotel some other way. I'm like, well, let me drive the truck. I haven't been drinking. I was supposed to drive. You pushed me out of the way. No, you can't drive it. And I almost got him into letting me drive his truck, but they impounded it. So I had to take a taxi cab 2-3 miles back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning, had to get him out of the fucking jail and then get his car from impound. That was fun times.
Oh, Jesus. I had a similar instance, like you said, like you're sitting there drinking and you don't realize how much you had until you stand up. And I was like, all right, cool. You know, it was just beer, but I didn't realize how many beers it had actually been. And then it stood up, and I was like, oh shit. So I like fucking made a beeline to the bathroom because I had to like piss like a motherfucker. And so I'm like standing there and I'm good. I'm like, all right, cool. I had a couple more and then like went to the bathroom one more time before I left. I'm like, all right, cool. I should be good. Nah, like 5 minutes from the hotel, like Uber driver is like, all right, we're almost there. I'm all, that's good because man, I go to the bathroom. And so then like again, the standing up thing, I'm like, oh fuck, that hotel parking lot's pretty fucking big. I'm not gonna make it up to my room. I'm like way up on the fucking top floor of this hotel, and the elevator's slow as shit. I'm like, fuck, 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 and there's a lot of cars out there, but there's nobody there, right? And so like quick thinking, I'm like, okay, it's either piss on myself or piss right here in the parking lot. And so like I grab my phone and I'm like walking around, like not walking, but like kind of like pretending like I'm looking around for somebody and peeing between parked cars. I was like, oh man, that wasn't good.
Don't you know that's why they put planters outside for you to pee on?
There was none. It was just concrete and cars.
That's a shitty hotel.
It was.
So we went to Japan and we were doing some training for some servers out there, right? And we go out drinking. The higher ups take us all out for drinks and food. They wined us and dined us. They did a great job. They had some good sake and some good beer. So
Nice.
I'm drinking some sake, you know. I'm just loving this sake. It's so good. I love it over in Japan. Here's shit, but over there, perfect. So I'm slugging that down and I'm making sake bombers. Well, normal sake bombers, you put, you know, chopsticks, the shot on the over the glass, everyone hits the table, and whoever's shot glass goes into the beer first, they drink sake bomber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else out. So I'm chugging it, throwing it in there, and you know, slurping down my beer. I don't even I'm not putting my cup in there. I'm just pouring my sake in and then slugging it down. Go sake bomber. Everyone's laughing at me, and one of the Japanese guys that we deal with here in America was with us over there, you know, hosting us. And he goes, what is sake bama? And I'm not inflecting anything more than what I'm saying, how he said it. And so I go, oh, we take the sake, and I tell him about the chopsticks, and he poured it in, you know, and it goes in, and sake bama. He goes, I'd like to try. I'm like, okay. So I pour him some sake in his beer. He sips it, just, oh, it's no good. You want? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'll take it. You know, I'm going to get his glass, right? He gets another glass of new beer. He starts pouring it in my beer. What are you doing? No, I put it in, but no, you get new glass. Give me. I grab it from his hand, take one slug. We're talking a beer mug about, you know, a little over a foot long, and I'm slugging it all in one shot. And his eyes, he goes round eye on me. He's like, whoa. So, you know, I'm eating these tiger prawns, and, you know, eating some tempura and some fish and everything. I don't normally eat fish, but it's off the hook good. We end up going downstairs and we're all talking, gabbing, and the girls that were with us from the company were all like, you want to go out drinking more? I'm like, yeah, I'll go out drinking more. Meanwhile, the guy that I was introducing sake bombers before, he's looking at me, goes, oh, I don't care your fat American ass. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, you get drunk, you sleep, you stay. I don't care. You too fat. I'm like, okay, first of all, that's insulting. I know I'm fat. Second of all, I'm Mexican. I drink you under the table. Third of all, if I get drunk and black out, I'll find my way back to the hotel. Thank you very much. And of course, he's like, oh, he's bad. So we go up. Before we go up, we had this other Texan with us from Austin, and he was feeling sick, and he told us, I'll go drinking with you, but he ends up ducking out on us. And so we call him a sissy boy. Oh, that little fairy, a sissy boy, you know, he left us. And the girls are like, what's his sissy boy? And we're like, do you have dictionary? Oh, yeah. So we get their calculator dictionary. We look up sissy boy, and next thing you know, they're dying laughing. Now they know the meaning of sissy boy. So we're up drinking, and every time instead of kung pao, we're all like, sissy boy! We're slamming beetle. We're slamming sake. We're all saying sissy boy. Everyone in the whole place is looking at us and laughing. We're having a good time. And then I remember going through the elevator downstairs, and we're in the Shinagawa district, so we're right by trains everywhere, right? Near the Akihabara area, which is where you would see the pachinkos and all the flashing lights and all the area that you normally would see in Tokyo movies. So we get downstairs, and I remember going downstairs, and we say goodnight to the ladies, and we're very pleasant. And then I blacked out. I don't remember after that. So I remember getting in front of the change dispensary for the train and got 710 yen in, which is roughly $7 or something like that, and in coins. And I got my ticket. I got my change. I didn't drop it. I got up the stairs. I faintly remember that. I remember getting on the train, and then I blacked out again. Then I remember falling around on the train. Then I blacked out again. We got to our Shinagawa district area where our hotel was, and I don't remember getting off the train. The train platform is like 3.5 stories up, so that's how many stairs you're going down. And the stairs are wide, but they're low pitched, so it's elongated down. So it took me forever and a day to get down. I remember almost falling on my face. If I'd fallen, I would have rolled 3 stories downstairs. Got to the hotel. I don't remember going to the hotel. I don't remember getting my key to the hotel room. I got into my hotel room, and the wall has a hole. You put the chad that's on the key chain into the wall, and the lights stay on. So that way you don't ever forget to turn off light.
Right.
Well, I did that, and I opened up the window because, of course, booze makes you hot, makes me sweaty, porous. So it's nice and cold. Open up the window, and I turn on some Japanese show, and I had it like 30 or something like that, blaring loud, and I fell asleep. This is at midnight, right? And this is on a school night. So I wake up at 4 a.m, almost peed the bed. I had to go so bad. I wake up 4 a.m, it's freezing cold. I'm like, what the fuck? How's it so cold here? Who left out my lights? Why is the TV so loud? I go to the bathroom, which is right at the end of the hall where I'm at, in the little room that I'm in. And the bathroom, you have to understand, is like your bathtub that's put together, plastic everywhere, wall to wall. And the reason for that is they hose everything down, wash everything down. It's a compartmentalized bathroom. Mm-hmm. I didn't even bother go to the toilet. I was stumbling. I just stood at the doorway and just like all over the area, just hitting the wall, hitting the sink, hitting the mirror. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't hold it. Finished my job, passed out. Woke up the next morning, or that same morning, I should say, around 7:30, so I can eat breakfast, and I did not feel good. And I hosed down the bathroom, so they wouldn't have to walk in my urine. Went down 8 and went into the place where we needed to go, and I'm not going to tell you the name because it's pretty high up as far as corporation goes in Japan. And when I get up there, the ladies that we went out drinking with, they're like, you don't look, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Oh, you look bad. You sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah. You hungover? Do we say right, hungover? I'm like, no, you said it right, but I'm not hungover. They're like, what? Not hungover? No, I'm still drunk. Like, what? I was still plastered that morning from the night before. I had drank so much, I didn't even realize, man. I was still fucking drunk, man. I needed hair of the dog. I barely got through that day because the wind was blowing the tower like this.
Oh.
And, oh my God. They have all the spring structure in there. I almost threw up a few times.
Oh, that's fucking rough.
That was a good night.
Hell yeah. It sounds like it. Well, before I finish this, probably should get into one of Mixed's recipes. So I needed I've been up for a while, and it's like I wanted to drink, but I didn't want to drink like super heavy because I didn't eat all day. So Mixed gave me this one. He's like, grab yourself some vodka, cranberry juice, some tonic water, and a lemon. And so what you do is you throw in the booze, and then you throw in, so it's like 2 parts booze, 1 part of the tonic water, and then 1 part of the cranberry, and then you cut a lemon, a wedge, and you toss it in there, mix it up. And it's it's refreshing. It's good for like those times where you kind of want to drink, but like it's hot and you don't want to be like all fucking a mess afterwards. So this is like a cool, like refreshing summer drink that I am sipping out of my red Solo cup because somebody once said that you do not have a pair of testicles if you prefer drinking from glass.
The king's cup right there.
And
So
it's
how do
good.
you do this now? So you snort the vodka, you put the lemon wedge in your eye, you put the cranberry in your teeth, and you throw the cup of ice over your shoulder.
Exactly.
Ah, okay. All right, got it.
It's and so no, it's good. Like I dig it. He's made it a couple times before, but like I never really paid attention to what he like puts in his drink. I just kind of like trust that he knows what he's doing and just drink it. Other people like ask him like, "Well, what's in it?" or "What's this? What's that?" Like I would hate for like people to question me about every little thing about my fucking job all the time. It's like, yeah, bitch, I've been doing this for like 20 fucking years. I'm pretty sure like you're safe. Just fucking use your shit.
What's in it? You don't want to know.
if you have to,
Just drink it,
if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
big guy. It's made with dead babies. Now just guzzle it.
What's it called? It's called a kick in the balls. That's what it's called.
It's called a fetus.
Real low hanging fruit.
Speaking of low hanging fruit, oh, good times with that, man. Have you ever had any ball shots, man, that have really kicked you out? Because I had a couple incidents. One that really happened to me, and one that happened to a friend of ours. So let me kick you in with this one. No pun intended. Lots of pun intended. So I was playing football, and when you play football or any type of sports, anyone could attest to this, even females when they get kicked in the gooch, you get hit in the sack, you get hit in the lower abdomen. It really, really hurts. It really turns your stomach. Well, as a kid growing up, when we were little and balls were there, but a little hit would hurt, but not as much as when you're older. We would get somebody on the ground holding their balls and in a wretched position, fetal position, and we'd whisper in their ears, "You hungry?" just to make them want to throw up. That said, going into my high school years playing football, we were goofing off in the locker area, and I had this foil paper, and I just wedged. It was from lunch, I just wadded up into a ball. So we're using this ball, and we're acting like we're playing baseball, right? So I'm down as a catcher, because I told everyone, I used to play catch in Little League, and then jokes ensued, of course, from that. Anyway, so I'm down there catching, and this guy throws. He throws and it hooks and it goes and it dips and it misses my hand and just goes right for my left nut. Doesn't hit it center. It just grazed the left nut. Now, ladies, if you ever have to ask your dude if a graze hurts, it hurts 10 times more than a kick to the fucking groin. Now, that hurts and puts the plums up, but they will drop and you'll feel all right because the numbing effect, it's more spread out. When you graze a nut, that's right there. That stays there. That's like fucking devil pinching you right in your fucking gooch forever, man.
It's like stepping on a Lego with your genitals.
Oh my God, no lie about that. I'm on the ground heaving. Everyone's laughing, whispering in my ear if I'm hungry. I'm like, fuck you. Couldn't move for 5 minutes. And finally, when I got up, after 10 minutes, I couldn't even stand up. So I'm walking hunched over going, oh my God. And everyone's slapping me on the back laughing. Don't touch me. Good times.
Oh man, I had a similar. It was the high school that I went to. One of them, we had like a mix with like a mixer like event like sporting thing with one of the other high schools in the area. So we're supposed to intermingle like with the other students from the other. So like there was a bunch of hot girls that came over, and we're all like one of the activities was baseball. And so we're playing, and I'm gonna go to bunt, and I'm like, it's like telling one of these chicks, to like spitting game, and I'm like, yo, check me out right here. And so I go, and I'm like, I power swing and miss like twice, and so they're like, okay, he's swinging for the fences, so everybody like backs up. And so then I'm like, yeah, and like they throw the pitch, and I go, and I fucking go to bunt, and I turn too far, and that fucking ball missed the bat, missed my hand, fucking straight in the nuts. fell right over, and I'm like, and I turn to the side and I look up and I see the chick that I just was talking to, like, yo, check me out right here. And she was like, fuck, talk about taking one for the team. I'm like, I'm no longer interested in you. Here's your fucking phone number back.
Meanwhile, the woman from my big fat Greek wedding sitting in your ear going, it's a boont. It's a boont. Fuck, man. Ouch.
Yeah, fucking totally missed. And it's not like we were wearing cups or anything. And just, yeah. It was like softball, because like they're, you know, some of them were softball players, so obviously not the ones I was hitting on. I knew they weren't into guys, so like
I don't think it was a softball if it hurt that bad.
Nope. I don't know what hurt. I've been hitting in the nuts with like a regular hardball, like a baseball.
Yeah.
And like with the fucking softball. I think the fucking softball's worse. Yeah. That shit's bigger.
Yeah. It's just more orb to hit little orbs.
It looked like those fucking those kinetic things that sit on the desk, the balls that go like, you click them and they go back and forth. That's what I imagine when fucking the softball hit me in the nuts.
I picture everything quiet for a split second, then you hear, this is what it's like when worlds collide. Oh my gosh, that was like you were doing a rendition of when the moon impacted the earth a few billion years ago.
Oh man, it was bad, and I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, and then like get up and I'm like, they're all, you okay? I'm fine, trying to fucking choke back the puke.
I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Well, there was this other time, growing up in California, we used to go lakeside all the time. My mom always liked to leisure out, and we always, hit the lake and swam around and had fun. My uncle, his friends from high school, they were just driving by, saw us, and decided to stop by. Now, me and my uncle are best friends. I mean, he might as well be my brother. Who knows? Maybe one day I might even do my own podcast with him. But in the meantime, I'm not moving anywhere, people, so don't be scared. Anyway, he brings his friends over, and there's this one goofy guy named Eric, and he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he's so goofy. And he's holding my arms. They were chasing us around because we were kids. I don't think I was in high school yet. And so one of the guys grabbed my arms, the other guy grabs my legs, and they start swinging back and forth, and I'm laughing, let me go, but I'm having a good time, right? And I'm seeing the sun, I'm seeing, no sun, I'm seeing the sun, I'm seeing no sun, and it was kind of warm, so they're sweating my eyes, so I couldn't really open my eyes because, stinging. I'm freaking out, like, okay, I'm done. Next thing I know here, let go of my brother. Thump. And then I hit the ground. I'm like, I look up, and there's Eric on the ground in a fetal position going, oh. My brother had run over, and my brother's a year and a month older than me, and he just laid into Eric, just kicked him, wailed him right in the nutsack, full-blown hit. Oh. My uncle and his friend were dying laughing. I'm on the ground almost with a concussion going, what the hell happened? Next thing you know, after 20 minutes of pain and, riddled pain and just squalling, he gets up and starts chasing my brother, and I'm laughing my ass off. Run, Forrest, run! Of course, Forrest Gump wasn't around, but that's what I was thinking anyway.
Oh, man. Fucking mix it when we're like teenagers and stuff. I'm washing dishes, and I got this big ass fucking pot that I'm like trying to balance on the fucking middle part of the sink and like wash it out and shit, right? So I've got like fucking.
Oh, you mean cooking pot?
Yeah. This time. And so I'm like fucking, cleaning this fucker, and like it's full of water, and like I don't want to spill it all over myself, so I'm like being careful. And so fucking I hear Mixon behind me, he's all, to the moon, Alice, and I'm like, don't, dick. And he like fucking like he goes like to kick me in the ass and fucking misses, and fucking right up underneath and fucking straight in the fucking nuts. The fucking water goes everywhere. I went on the fucking floor, and then that's after the fucking water and me were on the floor. That's when my fucking pops walked in to see that shit. Didn't see fucking Mixon do anything. He was just like, Mixon goes, I don't know what the fuck happened. He was standing here like an idiot and just fell.
So this last one wasn't really a nut shot, but it generated in the groin area, so to speak. So we had this guy we called Dirt. And the reason why I called him Dirt, well, it's obviously he didn't like to shower and he always looked dirty. So we'd walk around, when he's with us, and we go, as we're talking, we're just talking. All of a sudden, one of us would just blurt out, what, Dirt? And he'd get pissed off. So anyway, he'd always talk about David Lee Roth and how he was his biggest, idol. Oh God, David Lee Roth. He knows how to kick. I know karate. I could show you how to kick. And we're like, shut the fuck up. Okay, you can probably kick. We've seen him kick. You can kick, but shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear your shit. Well, my uncle was working at a liquor store. And in the liquor store, it was a 2-door with the center pylon, for the 2 doors to lock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a large step up. Come on, keep it in mind that where I grew up was Mojado land. There was a lot of old country Mexican type joints, and they didn't have regular sidewalks. They had large steps on angled areas for lots of rain to wash off on, so to speak. So anyway, you get up on this large step, and then the door scraper on the bottom to so people can't go underneath the doors, basically the sill, whatever you call it. Anyway, it was risen up about 1.5 inches. And normal steps would probably be, kick plates would be probably about 1 inch, maybe about 1/2 inch or whatever. This was pretty high. So the reason why I explained this is because Dirt was acting all foolish. I could kick like David Lee Roth. I could do this. I could do that. And we're like, show us, prove it. So right when you walk in the door, to the right were 2 arcade games, and to the left was the register and everything, right? And right above that was a Budweiser sign. He goes, I'll kick the bottom of that sign. Well, it's about 6 foot up, right? We've seen him kick that high before, goofing off. We're like, fucking shut up and show us. Just being dicks like we always were. He gets back. He puts his Naruto arms in his back and he's ready to run. So he's doing this and ready to run. And he starts running. And then he left leg kicks the bottom kick plate, causes his right foot to slip as he's going up. Both legs go up. Now he's flat like a fucking plank. He's flat. He's like 4 foot up flat in the air and goes down to the concrete because it was just laminate, on the floor. And as he hits, all we hear is a, and then we hear, and that I'm sure was his life force exiting his body at the time. But he was just on the ground with his eyes wide open. He goes, my ball. So what do you think we did?
Are you hungry?
That's right. We kneeled down, whispered in his ear so gently as we're caressing his head. You hungry, Dirt? Oh my God, we had such a laugh.
I had one of those falls like a couple of months ago where I was at training working on some techniques, some takedown techniques. And the guys that I had been working with were like a lot lighter than me, so for them to like push me like down from like me from a standing position and them from like kind of hunched over like it, so I would just kind of like just tip back and let them push a little bit and then just let gravity take over, so they would basically just grab onto my gi and just hold on and just fall, and it looked like they were pushing me down.
Right.
So then like a guest instructor comes to help us get ready for a test, and so we're going over that technique. All of my instructors are in the corner talking, and like the dude does it and I forget, and this dude's like a decent size, so he's not like, he doesn't need help, and I fucking, not thinking about it, leaned back a little bit, so that dude fucking slammed me on the ground, and like it was so like I hit so hard that everybody that was on the floor said they felt it like the whole floor shook. And then like I hear from the corner like of the building my instructor go, "You gonna learn today." And I was like, and I looked up, he's like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good." He's all, "That was pretty fucking hard." I'm all, "Yeah, I know, I'm kind of the one that fucking hit the ground."
And so hard that Chris Tucker came in the frame, go, "You got knocked the fuck out."
Basically, everybody just stopped and turned around. They were like, we're just not used to hearing you hit the ground that hard. I'm like, yeah, me either. Don't get used to it because fucking I don't want to do that shit anymore. It hurt for like 2 weeks when I coughed after that shit.
Those are your balls coming up.
Like everything from my back was trying to come out my chest, basically. Like in the cartoons where they hit the ground and they just pancake out. That's what I felt like. Like my whole body just scrunched down to a pancake and then back up. When I got up, one of my classmates walked over. He's like, "Fuck, there's a fucking divot of you in the fucking mat."
Wile E. Coyote, super genius.
I should just patch Wile E. Coyote on my gi somewhere for that. Just get an embroidered patch and just put him on there.
Yeah, in the floor like he always does.
Oh man! So what do you what did you make for yourself? What are you drinking today?
So I got a recipe from our guy there, Mr. Mix It. It's a simple. It's not really a Bloody Mary, but it's close to enough. So basically, it's 5 ounces of V8. Get yourself a lemon wedge. I like to put a little lemon juice in there as well, and also put some salt, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire. Throw that in there. I like to put a little paprika as well and pepper. Give it a little bite to it. It's got a good kick. And then a shot of tequila. It's something simple that you can have in the morning or in the evening. It's really good for you for the V8 as far as that goes, and the veg that's in there. Probably not so good for you for the rest of the shit that you put in there, but hey, it's a good drink. And then to go with the theme of the Bloody Mary, I put some celery in there, but I didn't put a regular stalk. I took the stalk and I shaved it down so it's more like grass. Looks like a reminiscent of grass, and put a twist of zest in there as well to give it that lemon flavor. Tastes pretty good.
Nice. It's like one of those all day drinks. It's like kind of like like menudo. You have it. You could have it for breakfast, but you could also have it for dinner. But you can have it for lunch too. It's like one of those like multi-purpose deals.
Yeah. I like menudo's the soup of it. I don't like the tripe. Ugh. But pozole, that's a good pick up from that.
Yeah. No, I grew up eating it, and at first I didn't really care for the tripe, but then when my dad figured out we were just gonna eat the hominy and the soup, then he started buying like the expensive one that had like the honeycomb, like high end like tripe in it. And then so I'm like, one day I just got a wild hair and I'm like, fuck it. You know what? Let me give it another shot. And so then I dip into this honeycomb shit and I'm like, oh fuck, this is what I've been missing out on. I'm like, oh, I'm down with this, and I fucking serve up a big ass bowl. My dad's like, oh hey, I'll take the tripe out of there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And he's all, but I thought you didn't like it. I'm all, I don't know. I gave it another shot. I like it now. He's all, fuck.
Honeycomb's big. Yeah. It's not small. No.
Yeah, it's like he would have us try stuff, right? But if we didn't like it, he was like, oh, "Okay, good. Now I can get the good, get the good shit, and then they can have the fucking microwave the stuff that they like." And then we got a taste for the good shit, and it was like, "Oh, how come we can't have some of that?"
So I do you one better. Back in the day, even back when Taco Bell was, just regular tacos with cheese on top, I would take the cheese out and give it to my brother. Just scoop a big old wad of cheese and throw it on his plate because I didn't want no damn cheese on my taco. God damn, who eats cheese with their taco? And then I got to an age where I started eating the cheese. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And my brother's like, give me your cheese. I'm like, no, I'm eating it now. So no, you give me your cheese. I'm like, no, I'm eating my cheese. Got in a big old fight over that. My parents getting mad at us. I got taco just shoved in my face. And he's beating me up trying to get cheese. Good times.
Mix it would do shit like go like, are you gonna eat that? And then fucking stick his finger in your food.
My brother would do that too, and I go, "Yep," and I'd eat it.
Our other brother would spit in his food after mixing it. He's like, "Hey, you gonna eat that?" He's all, "Yeah, you want some?"
That's gross, man. Just as gross as you ever get caught picking your nose, man. That ever happen to you,
dude? Like my nose, fucking digging in my ass, scratching my balls. Like, I got busted doing all of it. One of the worst ones was class, right? Because I thought I go up to like do my speech at class, and so I'm behind the podium, and like it's after gym, after lunch, and I didn't shower because I fucking was busy bullshitting, and by the time it was time to go back to class, I'm like, oh fuck, I just have time to like get dressed. So like, and it's a hot day, and so I'm like fucking sweaty and itchy, and I'm like fucking like behind this podium, like still as fuck up on top, right? Can't tell, like can't see my arms and nothing, and I'm like fucking like very fucking James Bondishly fucking scratching my balls, and then the fucking teacher goes, "Hey man, you should probably get that looked at if you gotta scratch that much." I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, why you gotta blow up the spot, man? I'm like, I didn't think you could see. Nobody could see. I'm like, how did you see? He's like, uh, you're literally like right to my left, and there's nothing next to you.
And just staring. I'm going.
And I'm like, and so like after he said that, everybody in class is like, oh, dirty motherfucker. I'm like, oh, excuse me, dirty motherfuckers. If I would have stood here and like fucking started stiffing my fingers like you assholes, but no, I was discreetly scratching my balls until fucking Mr. Drop Dime over here.
Nice.
Class full of fucking people.
Yeah, this is, when you're driving, and I always catch people doing this. They're driving, and as they're driving, all of a sudden you see them go in, kind of like in Caddyshack. Oh, $50 says he's gonna do it. He's gonna go in. He's gonna go in. Oh, he picks his nose. $5 says he's gonna eat it. Well, one time, I had a big backup, and I was like trying to blow it out because nobody gonna catch me picking my nose while I'm driving. God damn it! So I'm like trying to blow it out. I'll flick it off my pants or whatever. They're dry cleaned or whatever. And I was, I don't want to deal with this shit, right? And so finally, I couldn't get it out, and I couldn't breathe, and I almost sucked it down my throat because it was a big wad. I'm like, oh, I gotta get it out. So I reached in, got it. Just as I did that, I look over, and there's this girl driving this car, hot girl in this fucking sports car, saw me knuckle deep in my nose, and I looked at her and go, because I ain't stopping. I'm gonna get it, and she was all. But nothing was happening after that.
You don't understand. This motherfucker's been on the run for the last half hour.
That bear was hiding in the cave. It needed to come out.
It's been prairie dogging, like fucking taunting me for the last 5 minutes.
I'm going to get you, little bastard. We had this other guy who was fucking disgusting. And this is I was in 7th grade. My brother was in 8th grade. And this guy was known to be disgusting. Just fart, pick his nose, blow snot on girls. He's just a filthy guy. Well, one time he was creating a menace in the 8th grade, and the teacher was from Vietnam era, so he wasn't having none of that shit, right? So this guy's all just being a dick, and the teacher goes, get to the back of the class and sit down in that chair. Well, he sat down in the chair in the back of the class, but he didn't sit down in the chair. He sat down in the back part of the chair, the upper riser, and it was missing the backstop on those chairs back in the day, right? So he's sitting on the back of the chair, top back of the chair, the hole in the middle of the chair, and behind him is a poster of the space shuttle launching. Except all you saw was the thruster underneath him in the hole in the chair. And everyone's looking at him laughing, looking like he's farting, launching from the chair. He's like, what are you laughing at? What are you doing? He looks down, he starts laughing. The whole class erupts. The teacher kicked him out.
Oh man. Yeah, one time we were in class, and like there was a hot chick that was out there, and so like she's walking by, and like we're like where the building that we're in, like the floor we were on was like street level, so everybody like walking by outside. So one of these fucking hood rats passes by, dressed all skankily, and I'm like, oh fuck, hey. And then like I tap my buddy, and I'm like, hey, check it out. And so then like fucking 2 people saw us looking, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends. And so then everybody's fucking looking out. The teacher turns around, he's like, gentlemen, what is out there? I go, the truth. And he just like fucking points to the door. I'm like, all right, I'll see you guys later.
Playing We Are the Champions over your head.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
and she, I mean, at least she deserved to be wearing the fucking like spandex that she was wearing because like
That's
uh,
exactly what I was going to ask you.
yeah. Yeah, she did, and it's good because there was a bunch of times where I looked out that same window, and there was many a woman that passed by that didn't own a mirror, or a scale,
Or
uh,
had a fastback.
or a friend to say, "Bitch, don't wear that."
Because it's a privilege, not a right. Not everybody should be wearing it.
Oh
And if you do
hell,
wear like underwear so nobody else sees it.
right? And then it's like I saw one that was stretched so thin, like I'm like, bitch, did you just come out wearing like fucking stockings? And then, but like it was all like fucking big on top, and then the fucking ankles and shit were like all small, and so I
Oh,
was like, oh, those are regular fucking leggings and shit. I'm like, holy shit. They were like stretched white almost, and they were like black. I'm oh fuck.
they were jeggings. They're holding on for dear life. God dang. If I was that fat, I'm not wearing a thong. I'm not wearing a Speedo. I'm not wearing fucking spandex. The only time I ever wore those is when I was like really young and I was really thin. I was like 155 pounds, which I'm not anymore. And I was riding my mountain bike everywhere I went. That's when my ass looked good. That's when my body looked good. I didn't give a fuck. And that was all right.
Yeah, no, and then two, since like the leggings thing has like I got to a point where it's now being used as outerwear, and then sometimes like fucking club wear, and they go out in that shit, and it's like the ones that deserve to be wearing two sizes too small, good on you. The ones that like fucking need to buy a bigger mirror, not so much. Like don't
Well,
do,
I mean, Club of
don't do
Baby
that shit.
Seal takes on a different meaning, right?
Right? Oh, Jesus.
Because
Like
first of all, it's not a baby; it's more of a grown seal.
it's like the Spanish Inquisition for those fucking stitches. Like I imagine them on racks being pulled and then pulled and pulled. And like eventually they're gonna snap, or the fucking, or those fucking big chicks that wear leather, tight leather, and then it fucking it's not gonna stretch anymore, so it like fucking starts pouring out of like fucking whatever opening is on the fucking pants. I saw one fucking chick. This bitch had the fucking audacity, like being like 200 or 300 pounds and like 5'1", to wear these fucking leather pants that like that had they were had the fucking the not the string, but like the lacing that goes up the legs to like keep them
Ooh.
closed. So she's so fucking big, and the leather, like it had to have been real leather because I don't know fucking vinyl is that strong, and so like it's literally fucking pouring out of where the fucking laces are at. So it's like pant, fat, lace in between, and then the
Ooh.
back portion of just like fucking fat. And it was all cottage cheesy too. Like it was squished in and cottage cheesy at the same time. I'm like, bitch, you belong in Guinness. How the fuck did you pull that off?
Moo. Now,
And
don't get me wrong. I like big girls. I don't like them. I don't like them real thin. I don't like runway models. I like a little meat on the bones, and they can be bigger too. It's all right. But if you're like really big, don't wear that stuff. Wear something that contributes to your figure that looks all right. I'm okay with you being bigger. I'm okay with the woman being natural, not having work done, so to speak. That's okay. It's all right. We are people. I look through the skin. I actually see a person for who they are. But come on, man. If you're wearing that and you say, don't treat me like this, what more? You're telling me to act the way I am by what you wear. And, when I was in SeaWorld one time and my son was wearing a Junior Seau jersey and
mhm.
some lesbo bitch come up to him telling him, a 14-year-old, not to wear that jersey because the guy was a woman beater, which he wasn't. The woman beat him, and she's wearing
Mhm.
a spandex white shirt with baloney nipples
Jeez.
protruding out. You
Blech.
can see clear as day, talking to my son about what jersey he's
Fuck
wearing when
no.
she's out in the public like that. I mean, come on, get a sense of reality here, right?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, fuck that shit,
Fuck.
dude. That's it's Oh, that's such fucking bullshit. It's irritating. And like, and I made a fucking comment like talking to one of my friends while we're at a bar, and like I hadn't even seen the fat chick in spandex yet. And then I made a comment and I hear, what did you say? And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like already like, pretty, I wasn't all the way drunk, but drunk enough to like stop caring like 20 minutes before that. And so I turn around, I'm looking around, and then like I'm all like, I point to me, and she's like, yeah, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, let me translate for you. Moo. And everybody fucking like that I was with was like, ugh! They fucking grab me and they fucking just like rush me off of the patio. They're like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. And I'm like, why? He's like, because like 6 dudes that were like way bigger than us just stood up when you said that. So I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. And I'm like, oh, okay.
What? I was just chewing some cud.
I'm like, come on, man. I was just chewing the fat. And then like fucking, that was the last thing I said when they pushed me out the door.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. People need to get a sense of what they wear and what it's going to cause. Yeah, you know what? We shouldn't be judging. We shouldn't be looking. But if you're wearing out in the open, guess what? You're open to judgment. You're open to looking. If you don't want it to be seen, if you don't want people to have an idea of what you are by what you wear, then don't wear it. Don't go out in public like that. Treat yourself with a little bit of respect. Dress yourself with a little respect, and you will get respect. Now, hindsight being 2020, when they are dressed down a little bit, yeah, you're going to be googling and all that good stuff. But it's going to take you a little bit longer to get down to the person underneath the clothing. But come on, really, don't get pissed off if you get stared at.
Right. And if you're wearing something you have no business wearing, don't get mad at people that are fucking like talking to their friends and like, what if we weren't even talking about you? Just in general.
Really.
Like,
I mean, we know you used a shoehorn and some lard to get inside of that.
Right. It's just like, hey man, your fucking exercise inadequacies are not my fucking problem. Like, don't do all that projection bullshit with me when I'm trying to have a good time.
All sweating in the breasts like that, and then saying, oh, I just got into gym. Now it's time for a workout. Wait, you're sweating like a pig here. What do you mean just getting ready for a workout?
Oh man, good times. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up on our time for this episode, but again, welcome back to season 5. Welcome back to Rice and Beans. Big-O and I are fucking super happy to be back here, and we're gonna be doing a lot more cool shit this season. Stay tuned because we got some good shit coming. We got more reviews. We revived Rice and Beans Radio. If you guys haven't caught that, go ahead. It's still up on the Facebook. We're actually going to be switching it over when we do the excuse me, the Rice and Beans Radio to our YouTube channel. So because there's a lot of places that we frequent that do play YouTube and have asked if we did any shows on YouTube because they could just stream it at their places. So we're gonna actually start switching the Rice and Beans Radio to YouTube. So we'll post when we're gonna do it and let everybody know. And so the musicians out there, bands, artists, whatever genre, go ahead and send us your music, and we'll go ahead and get it in rotation on Rice and Beans Radio. And we're going to start doing that a couple of times a month. So hit up me, hit up Big-O, Jester at Rice and Beans Cast, Big-O at Rice and Beans Cast. Send us music, send us things that you'd like to hear. And remember, Rice and Beans Radio is all about music and jokes and conversation and like just getting into the nitty gritty of the tunes that we like to listen to. So don't be shy. Go ahead and send those in. One other thing that we got new coming this season is we've been asking you guys to send us stuff, and we're starting to get stuff in. So we're now going to go ahead and start putting all that stuff up that you guys send us. Big shout out to the guy that got it started, our good buddy Stan. He's provided plenty of picks for us and good interesting stories that you guys are going to be able to sink your teeth into. So with that being said, welcome back. We're happy to be back. And until next week, take a toke and watch all your worries go up in smoke. Peace.